Hey guys, it's Wildcat 6305 coming to you from Ike's Treehouse outside of Augusta, Georgia. Today, wanted to do an introductory preamble, cover the objectives, mission statement, whatever term you want to use, for my research and development rules for Wildcat's R&D rules. And I have a little document written up here, and I'm not going to read it because I mean I'm sure that would spawn many subscribers of just reading text. But really, of anything, but I'll leave the first page here. The preamble is what I'm going after here, and just kind of give you a background of what I did to come to this conclusion of my research and development rules, and why I felt like I needed to create my own research and development rules. First off, when I played Axis, when I am playing Axis and Allies, I feel like without these rules, many players just do not do anything with the research and development. They don't want to invest in it. It's too risky. There is no guaranteed return on your equity. And I feel like IPCs are too valuable in this game to just be thrown out there on a whim of I may get a breakthrough and I may get a technology that might help me. Did you notice the may? There was a lot of mays and mights in that, well, two mays and a might in that statement. It's just too much of a risk. Why, with out-of-box rules, and I understand, I'm preaching to the choir. I don't think there's a person that stands behind the out-of-box technology rules. But why would I want to play a system of where I have no control over the technology that I get? And I'm about to go down a rabbit trail here of historical accuracy, which this to me, it's a thin line of historical accuracy with Axis and Allies. It is a board game, and there are some things that are historically significant that affect the overall storyline, but then at the same time, everything can't be 100% historical, because if it was, then there would need to be a Pearl Harbor J3 attack every game to be technically historically accurate. So there is a thin line of historically accurate and versus what works type going on. One of the biggest things that bothers me is when a country in that era was trying to develop a technology. They weren't just randomly trying to guess what they did. Their scientists didn't just go into a lab and, hey, let's start mixing stuff up and see what happens, and oh, hey, we invented a super sub, or oh, hey, we invented a jet engine. No, the researchers knew what they were trying to accomplish from the beginning. There was no question what they were trying to do. When Hitler got Porsche to build a new super tank, to build a Tiger tank, he was building a Tiger tank. He wasn't just in the lab putting parts together and, oh, hey, I discovered a jet engine. No, he was working on building Hitler a Tiger tank, period, end. With that same idea, I don't feel like a player should have to guess and it be a risk on what technology they're going to get. And just to bring in to the picture of my research and development tree, this is where I get my 6 areas from. If there is no reason why the Soviet Union should be investing in naval technology, how useless would it be if the Soviet Union and in whatever variant you're playing of tech rules gets a naval tech? That would be an absolute waste of technology for them. They're probably going to want to be hitting either in the infantry or like the armor or the artillery type things. These these type technologies, paratroopers, mechanized divisions, things like that are going to give them an advantage to what they have. The Soviet Union has the smallest, or one of the smallest navies, and having improved shipyards is not going to do them any favors. So what my tech system is trying to do is remove that randomization from the game. I don't like rolling a dice for which technology I get. Most of the players I play with, they don't mind rolling a dice or having a randomness aspect of when I get a tech, but they don't want the randomness to be in what tech do I receive. And so with that, this is really the true backbone of why I came up with the technology system that I came up with. And then all the technologies that I've added, that sort of thing, is really kind of based around getting this technology into people's hands sooner. So I give all this preamble, and I don't even really talk about the overview of my system, but just to give a brief overview, essentially my system works in 4 parts. You do something to get an R&D token, and we'll talk about what that do something is here in a second. But you do something to get an R&D token. Once you get an R&D token, then you can spend 5 IPC, or you can select a technology out of the technology chart. And then once you select a technology for 5 IPC and 3 industrial complex slots, you can enable that technology. So what's this do something to get an R&D token? Well, do something is you can either buy a R&D dice for 1 IPC, or you can just straight up buy an R&D token for 5 IPC. Or you gain a victory city. You capture a victory city. And then the last but not least, if you're playing with Young Grasshopper's house rules with his victory markers, if you do something to obtain a Young Grasshopper victory marker, you can win. You win an R&D token. So essentially, you can either pay 1 IPC and roll a dice and get a breakthrough, just pretty much like close to the traditional R&D system. Or you can conquer, you can earn it, and you can get one for free. Or you can just straight up pay 5 IPC for an R&D token. So what does that mean? So that means at most, you could just sit down in one turn, pay 5 IPC, buy an R&D token. Then you pick a technology, pay another 5 IPC, and have 3 slots open in an industrial complex, and then you enable that technology for a total of 10 IPC. Well, Wildcat, why are you letting people just get technology like that? Well, because that's how technology worked to some extent from a historical standpoint. And you're saying, well, I mean, then that means that like Anzac or Italy could get a technology. Yeah, and one of the aspects that technology, by not having technology available in the game that from a historical aspect covers up, is Hitler's obsession with technology. If Hitler had been able to just let technology go and just, I'm happy with the Tiger tank, I'm happy with the Panther tank, and leave it, the Germans could have possibly had a better war machine if they would stop pumping resources and just wasting money. And you really don't get to experience that in the game. IPCs are so valuable, people don't want to risk an IPC on a dice that may pay out for them this turn or 10 turns from now, trying to get a breakthrough. That's really a high risk reward thing, or your scenario where you're not getting your money back. And like I said, the German war machine, Hitler was investing in technology all the time. And one could probably make the argument that that's what's led to his downfall, his poor management of their finances, of just making bad financial decisions around technology. And so my take is, hey, if you want to sit here and spend all your IPC buying and enabling technology in and around, then I'm going to let you do that. Because ultimately, Axis and Allies is going to be won with boots on the ground. Having a technology is great, yes, but if I have troops invading into your homeland, that technology is not going to help you in that next turn when you spent 20 IPC on two technologies that you can't use that are offensive technologies, and I'm bearing down on you on your capital. So that's kind of my basic general philosophy and high level overview of my R&D system. I'm going to have some other videos going into more depth of the technologies, how this works, how the R&D side works, just kind of some general overall technologies, how you get them, how they interact, how you can trade them. And I'll also have a video going in depth over each technology and each phase and how it goes from there.